Shay, when I slice into this cake, I'm gonna look for a beautiful, even crumb structure. Let's see how you did. It's baked beautifully. Your crumb structure is even all the way through. It's glistening in the center. The cake is stunning. I need the recipe. What was in the soak that you made, that orange scent?
I just did under the sugar in the pan, and then I did the juice of one orange to melt it. Once it melted, I added the orange liqueur and then flambéed with that.
This idea of chocolate, olive oil, and then the fresh citrus, it brings something that could read as a little too heavy into a bright, fresh zone in an unexpected way.
Yep.
The one thing I would change is your twirl. That takes away from this beautiful sensory moment of your moist, dense olive oil cake. I think it's a stunning dessert.
Jay, there's all these little pockets of oil and fat and richness that allow the chocolate to really stand up and shine. Also, I love the savory nature of your ricotta and that cream. It balances the sweetness. But for me, there's too much orange zest. It's strong, and it overpowers your dessert.
Yes, chef.
Jay, I disagree with Ron. I think the balance of that orange flavour is delicious. And it's rich, it's unctuous. But above all that, it is incredibly moist.
Thank you.
If I had to give some of my chefs a blind taste test, they'd have no idea that it was flawless. Great job.
Thank you.
Please bring us your dessert, Ivy. Ivy, what's the dessert?
Today I made butterscotch pâte de crème with smoked salted caramel sauce, pine nut brittle with Thai on top, and a whipped creme fraiche.
Young lady, that's delicious. Very inviting, eye-catching. Now, once you set that cream, did you adjust the caramel accordingly? Because the big danger about this particular dessert, it can be over-sweet.
Yes, I did. There is not as much sugar in the caramel and the pineapple.
How'd you get in?
You use your spoon and crack it.
Right. Young lady, it's delicious. You've absolutely nailed that dessert. The base of the creme, delicious, refined, creamy, but super sweet. It's the kind of dessert you want to share, and it is just a rich, beautiful dessert. Well done.
Can't.
Your butterscotch pudding is rich, it's creamy, nice and light and smooth. I love the texture of that pine nut brittle on top.
Can't.
But I think for me, that moment where you get to kind of break the rules and smash something to get into that dessert, it brings a smile to my face, and that's what a great dessert does.
Ivy, I love the richness of caramel and how it plays with the buttercream, but you could have benefited with 1/3 of the amount of time. It's very aggressive. The flavor of the buttercream is just magical. The texture is silky smooth, and that's something to marvel at. Great job.
Thank you.
Good job, Ivy. Great job. It's taking tight, guys. Honestly, like it's gonna be close.
Well, all three of you presented us with exquisite plates throughout this entire evening.
It's gonna be hard to
Next time we see
choose.
you three, we'll be ready to announce which one of you become America's next Master Junior. Head back into the restaurant because we have a lot to discuss.
Thank you, guys.
And who's gonna win?
Come on, 3 amazing desserts. I mean, what a way to finish a finale. We have to pick a winner.
Well, I think that we should start with Malia's appetizer. Malia made this miso marinated cod with some beautiful handmade fresh soba noodles and then a quail leg.
The dish lacked the acidity. Apart from that, I think that's some of the best cooking she's ever done across this competition.
And Malia's entree, pan-seared filet mignon and a yuzu soy steak sauce with fresh shishito peppers and some braised daikon. She had a lot of compelling flavors. I think she stayed true to her Japanese California roots.
Sauce was incredible. Daikon, badly executed. But the confidence to cook a filet mignon in the finale, that girl's not messing around.
And her dessert, black sesame panna cotta with a mixed berry coulis, raspberry cream and raspberry pearls, and a sesame twill.
The dish itself looks like a work of art.
She knew she needed to deliver in this third course something out of this world, and she absolutely did.
It all comes down to this. I did everything that I could. I put my Asian culture, my Japanese fusion, I just put myself on a plate. I deserve to win.
Now, Che gave us those gorgeous pan-seared Santa Barbara spot prawns and cuttlefish across that bed of polenta with Calabrian chili butter.
For me, his appetizer set the tone with him showing off on how to cook spot prawns and cuttlefish individually and really excel at doing that. That made me take notice of Che.
The elements of skill that he's just nailed was extraordinary.
Che then gave us an entree of the veal saltimbocca, morel mushrooms, spring pea ragu, those fiddlehead ferns, and the roasted fingerling potatoes below.
He executed that veal beautifully. The process of wrapping and lining it with the cheese is very difficult. And so the colour and the crispness was absolutely spot on.
For me, his biggest mistake was putting those fingerling potatoes underneath the veal. It made the dish feel more clunky than refined.
Yeah.
Now, choose dessert. Flourless chocolate olive oil cake with an orange glaze, fresh ricotta whipped cream, and that pistachio twill.
It was so beautifully cooked to perfection, you just couldn't stop diving in. He's just put a gluten-free dessert on the map.
My biggest issue was that big, clunky twill. It was too thick. It's the one thing that really knocked Che's dessert out of the running for being my favorite to make.
These 3 dishes really told my story from start to finish. It shows my Italian heritage, it being gluten-free, and it also shows my family, because that's what got me into cooking. And no matter what happens, my dad would be so proud of me.
Now Ivy gave us that incredible pan-seared red snapper with that tropical salsa, tostones, and then avocado crema.
I think the flavor of the tropical salsa was right there, had bracing heat, it had the necessary amount of acid, and the cook in the snapper was just textbook.
Beautiful, but very plain. It just wasn't the strongest appetizer of the night. Then she went on to that perfectly cooked hanger steak, served on a bed of a herb puree, butternut squash served 2 ways, and fried Brussels sprouts.
The way Ivy cooked her hanger steak tonight was absolutely expert.
I gotta agree, I think that's when Ivy really stepped up to the game. That herb puree really was something magical.
It was perfection on a plate. And then she rounded that off with that beautiful pot de creme with layers of custard, caramel, and then that pine nut crust on top. Ivy's dessert for me was beautifully executed. It's very hard to get that kind of combination correct when you've got that custard and that amount of caramel.
Ivy's dessert had a few flaws. It was rich,
I know,
but it was perfect,
Karen.
Ivy.
I'm not gonna answer though.
To my roots, and that's what I did. I put so much sweat, blood, and love into this. Now it's time for me to climb up and grab that trophy.
3 incredibly talented 6th graders. What we have to decide on as a winner, who cooked the best meal, the best entree, dessert, and that will become America's Next MasterChef Junior.
Do we have a consensus?
We definitely do. Yes, we do.
Let's go.
Let's make it happen.
Yippee! 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 Yippee!